Welcome to episode 5 of the Chaotic Project. This is going to be one of those podcasts. This is going to be an episode where we just talk about random things. The first thing I want to talk about is when is the right time to ask someone you're interested in what their intentions are. And for me personally, I feel like once you ask once you start to have or develop feelings for an individual, I believe that's when you need to. I believe that's when you need to establish what their intentions are. If they have no intentions of being with you, then you need to reevaluate that. You need to okay, I'm gonna hang out with you less then, fam. If they want to be with you, then they're gonna be there. They're gonna show you. You gonna see their intentions sometimes. Sometimes they're gonna be like, oh, like I love this man, this my baby, you feel me? Oh, I love Shawty, she my baby girl, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna show you. But, sometimes looks like a lot of people say, well, like sometimes sometimes when when that question is asked for some dudes, not all dudes, you know, um, sometimes that question can be a trap. Cause you can pull up and be like, hey, yo, what's your intentions with me? Let's look at it from a female viewpoint. Like, all right, what's your opinion? What's your intentions talking to me? Like, what's your intentions? One dude will be like, what? What are you talking about? It's gonna catch him off guard. But I feel like if a dude really about you, I feel like it ain't gonna be no problem for him to tell you what his intention is. He's not gonna want to sit there and play around with something that he likes. It's like why waste time? I like Shotty, look, I like you, and I see myself doing X, Y, and Z for you. Or cause for me personally, I hear a lot of my male friends saying like, not really a lot of my male friends. Some of my male friends have said, bruh, she asking too much. That's she doing the most when they get hit with that question. And I think she just called you out, fam. Like, what is your intentions? Like, if you just gonna play with her, bro, just go sit down. Go sit down and waste her time. Shorty got her head on straight. You know what I'm saying? She has an image for herself and what she wants to do in her life. Don't go around and play around with that. Leave it alone. That's just me. I feel like you gotta. I feel like you gotta. If you wanna come up with a girl and she hits you with that question, she letting you know like, hey, this ain't no game. And if you really about that, you gotta make sure you about that. So that question, to me, is I think is needed. What is your intention, son? It's gonna make you think about it, cause you could have been talking to her, just to be on some games, but that question made you reevaluate your actions. Like, man, I like this girl. You know what I'm saying? I like this girl. I want to keep her around. I want to do this and this and this with her. Or vice versa, you might like home dude and be like, I like home dude. He real cool. You know, I can say I don't know how a female might think, so I can't really speak on it from a female viewpoint. I don't know if dudes go around asking females what their intentions are. Yeah, I haven't heard it. But no, if they do, kudos to you, cause you know what you want. You know that I listen. If you trying to do this, I ain't about that. I never heard a dude ask that question, but if there's a dude out there that ever asked a female that question, what was her response? What was her body language like? How did she react to that question? You know what I'm saying? Educate me on that because I have yet to encounter that. I have yet to see or pose that question to a female. You know what I'm saying? That question is always posed to me, and I always answered it. I just want to get to know you better, Shawty. Like, that's it. I want to know your story. I want to know what makes you you. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what's going to trigger you, and what don't you like. What's your pet peeve? You know, because there's a lot of times you may pursue someone for a relationship, or a relationship rather that's friendship wise, or emotionally. You have to know what triggers them. You have to know what their pet peeves are, because you don't want to intentionally or unintentionally set them off or trigger something or make them feel a certain type of way. Especially if you're gonna if you say something if you say something that can be on dark humor. If you say some dark humor, you gotta let that be known at the jump. Like, hey, listen, I got dark humor. You know what I'm saying? But this, but let me teach y'all a game real quick. Let me teach y'all some game. Hold on. Let me teach y'all. Let me sit up for this. If you like somebody, like if you like somebody and you 100% like somebody, and they know you like them, and you like them back, ain't nobody gonna come in between that. Ain't nobody gonna come in between that. You gotta do what makes you happy. If you at home, dude, and your man's lying to you every 5 seconds and lying to you okay, you know he gonna be a lie. You feel me? You know what's to expect. You know, if you feel like home dude about to be on some home dude living his hell lot, or something like that, you know how to, like, you guys need to figure out how to communicate with your partner, whether that's emotionally, or you guys need to figure out how to communicate with your partner emotionally and physically. What do I mean by that? Sometimes, your partner or your significant other may be upset, and they don't want to be bothered. Sometimes they may be upset and they want you to bother them. So you guys have to communicate and talk about how you feel and what you feel. I know a lot of people ain't about feelings. I ain't about feelings. I personally hate feelings. You know, I don't talk about what bothers me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my problem. But if you're gonna get invested into someone, you have to be willing to compromise a little bit. Now, I ain't saying hop up in the relationship and start yapping your business out. Nah, that's buffoonery. That's Bobo the Fool material. And I know there's some people out there that's like that. And I ain't trying to clown you, but what I'm saying is you never want to open up too much right off the bat. Sometimes you have to catch and release a little bit. You can't release everything. You have to do it in spurts, because you don't know what type of triggers that person may have. You don't know what that other person is going through, or how what you're going to tell them is going to affect the other person. Now, with that being said, the question that people like to ask a lot, and sometimes people be getting their feelings hurt, is, what's your body count? If you ask that question, you sure enough better be ready to get your feelings hurt. You better be ready for everything that question gonna bring. If you feel like you gonna be mad about that question, don't ask the question. If you feel like, oh, I just want to know just to know, cool, go for it. But don't ask the question and be mad about it. Like, that's a waste of your time and their time, because you already knew you about to get your feelings hurt. You already knew that. So why even ask the question? Don't put yourself in a position to hurt your own feelings. That's what I mean. If you're in a relationship, never put yourself in the position to hurt your own feelings. Now, if you want to go through their phones, go through their phones. And I feel like if you're one of those people that like to go through your shorty's phone, I mean, it's your world, squirrel. Do what you want to do. But like sometimes you just be going on your significant other's phone, just take pictures, just to have pictures on it, so your significant other have pictures of you in their phones. And I mean, by all means, go for it. But if you start snooping through their messages, that's on you, bruh. I ain't gonna cap. That is on you. I don't know what to expect. I wasn't one of them people that went snooping through Shawty's messages. I never did that. I didn't see the point. I didn't want to see something that hurt my feelings. Then I'd be mad the entire day. Cause then I don't want to bring it up. Cause then I'm gonna be like, oh, she knows I'm gonna look through her phone. I can't sound like I can't be like, oh, I was going through your phone and boom. Like no, it's like that's just me. Like if you one of those people that do it, go for it. If that's how your relationship is, go for it. And I ain't trying to talk nobody into nothing that I do. Or I'm not trying to talk nobody into nothing that they do. But y'all also have to be careful on what you're doing though, because sometimes you will get your feelings hurt with anything. You will get your feelings hurt. And man, my bro homie over there playing a video game in the room across from me, and all I hear is this man yelling. All right, so there's one more other thing I want to talk about because I knew I was gonna talk about relationships long. So I had a female friend. Call me on some foolishness. She called me to say this, and I quote: "Video games make people violent," and I am tired of that. I'm tired of people saying that. Video games do not make people violent. Now, you can't make it a general statement like video games make people violent. No, it has it has a possibility to make people violent. I'm not gonna be no fool and be like and negate that or ignore that. Some people, hey, it can influence some people. Some people aren't influenceable, easily influenced. But at the same time, you can't just say video games make people violent. All right, what proof do you have? Like, what games do you have that's violent that made someone violent? Or what type of um what type of what type of games do you that comes into mind when you say violent video games? You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to talk about violent video games, you also have to talk about violence in a form of entertainment. Because I think that's what your real problem is people profiting off of making violence entertaining. Now, if you want to go with that argument, you have to look at entertainment as a whole. What are works of entertainment? You have TV shows, you have movies, you have books, plays, video games. So when you say violence in video games, you also have to think about books and movies and TV shows. That's what I was telling Shorty. You have to look at these things because Thor be out here throwing heavy hammers at people, cracking them in the chest, be binking people upside the head with the hammers. The Hulk just be smashing everything. Hey, what's up, Eb? The Hulk just be jumping on everything, smashing things. Tony Stark be shooting people, pew 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 pew. You feel me? Out the sky. I'm okay. I'm just doing this podcast. This probably will be one of the shortest podcasts, but I just want to get this podcast out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad you made it home safely. Um, you know, you have I don't know if Spider-Man was violent. Spider-Man was just kicking people. He wasn't really just violent. He was just murking people. And then his name would have been Black Widow. Now let me stop. Let me stop. That was a bad joke. Bad joke. It's me too. Me too. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it tonight because I had some things to fix. And it turns out I still gotta fix my shower. You know, I gotta fix my shower. Um, but back to what I was saying. So you have to look at works or sources of entertainment when you talked about video games make people violent. Then you not only that, you also have to bring in music. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, cause she was like, well, there should be a heavier restrictions. She was like, there should be heavier restrictions on video games, and I was like, what do you mean? Just like that, same crack, voice crack, same high pitch. I was like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Cause video games, you have ratings, rated R. Rated M. I don't know what they mean. I don't really pay attention to ratings to be honest with you. I'm a I, like, hey, if I want to play a game, I'm gonna play a game. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm of age. If I was 16, 15, and that game a little bit too out of my realm, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna play it. All right, what you missed? So what you missed was um I'm gonna put a pause on that little previous statement. I'm gonna try to update Shorty on what was said in the podcast. So what was said in the podcast? Well, I talked about relationships. When is the appropriate time, to ask someone what their intention is. I said pretty much to sum it up in one line. When your feelings start to get involved. If you feel like you about to like dude, you better be like, hey, well, pause, wait a minute, son. What are your intentions? And if you have to dumb down that question for that individual, you probably should do it. You should probably do it because it's a reason. It's a reason why your brain popped up that question. It's always a reason. Don't try to let him be like, oh, this you doing too much with that question. Nah, Shotty, you doing just enough. If he feel like you doing too much, next, thank you, next. Now we on the topic of video games and Shorty thinking video game make people violent. I like to call myself a gamer extraordinaire. I should probably be the people that's out here rating games, playing them, beta testing. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you when you look at video games making people violent, video games is an outlet. You feel me? Like let's talk about GTA because a lot of people like GTA is one of them games where people like you can just shoot people in the head. Okay, but at the same time, you shoot somebody in the head in GTA, you can shoot a couple of people in the head in GTA. Not gonna cap. But at the same time, the police gonna roll up on you. You get 1 star, and you start shooting at the police. You get another star, and you shoot some more. You get another star, and pretty soon you can't escape them until they kill you. Which it's kind of like I don't know. That's kind of realistic. I've been there, but at this point, if he plays video games, I'm gonna play video games. Nah, that's what I'm saying. If you feel like if your partner plays too much video games and you got a problem with it, join them. If you can't beat them, join them. Hold on, y'all. That's my thing. If you feel like if your man is out here playing too much video games, if your man is out here playing too much video games, or you feel like as a parent your child is being too violent on video games, that's on you. Well, for your child, for the parent and child, for your parent and child. Um, I lost my train of thought because someone came in and asked me a question. Um, but if your child is violent by playing video games, that's on you, son. Because what were you doing as a parent that got your child that addicted? Now, I'm not saying video games ain't addicting. Everything's addicting. You feel me? Everything's addicting. Love's addicting. Sex is addicting. Punching, fighting is addicting. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of addictions out there. There's a lot of addictions. But you, at the same time, as a parent, oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. No, but as a parent, you have to really watch what your child is playing. If you say, well, or like you buy your son GTA and you see him out here busting caps and people, shooting him in the head, running down the street saying, ha ha ha, die, die, die. Well, I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry, pops. You bought the video game. It's not the game. It's not the video game company that your son's out here having fun shooting people. It's not the video game's fault that you out here, your son out here enjoying the killing. Yeah, that's not the video game problem. They just they did add police officers. It's not like the whole game is where you can just go around shooting people. They're all cops that pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? You can't and a lot of people and the thing that makes me mad when people use this argument, they like to say, well, why are you having fun shooting at people? Or, they be like, oh, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood. All right, first off, let's get some straight. Some video games are making it gory. They are having fun with the whole blood and gore type thing. I personally think that ruins the game, in my professional opinion. I've been playing games for a long time, but in my professional opinion, it does take away from the game. There are very few games where the blood and gore has really made a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you throw blood in there. And to my opinion, it's kind of like shooting ketchup, squirting ketchup out of the bottle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you put too much, you overdo it, and then it messes up the whole food. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I feel like blood and gore, sometimes depending on the game, you may mess it up. If I can give you guys an example of that, Dead to Rights, PS2 game. The first game was dope. I ain't gonna cap. The first game was dope. You feel me? It was a really good game. Really good game. Honestly, a fantastic game. It was a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. But when the second one came out, they added more blood in there, and it kind of threw off the game because that's not how it started out. You know? Oh, why? Now is it better? Is it still acting up? Because this is going on YouTube. I'm gonna upload both of the. I'm about to upload both of the the episode 4 and 5 up to the YouTube channel. So you guys can, if any of you guys missed it, y'all can just hop on there and listen to them. But when the second one dropped, they added blood and a lot of gore to it, and it kind of messed it up. You know what I'm saying? If your game initially started out without not having a lot of blood, leave it like that. Don't touch works of art. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You feel me? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I feel like a lot of games they out here competing. Even games like Fortnite. Fortnite is, some people say had a problem with Fortnite because they were like, oh, it's violent. Oh, it's violent. Or they say video games don't teach you any life skill. I don't know what video games you've been playing in your life. People like to talk bad about video games, and it makes me mad. What? Hey, what you talking about, Eve? Beauty pie. What you talking about? Anyway, I don't know how late this audio is, but I'm gonna give you to 24. By like 24:30, 24:30, to respond to that statement you made. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so back to what I was saying. Like when Fortnite came out, a lot of people was getting mad about it. Like these parents, like, oh my god, what is this? Why is he playing this? Da 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 da. My son's addicted to Fortnite. Well, give your son some attention, and then he won't be addicted to video games. Parents love to be all here like, oh, my son is violent because he plays video games. No, your son is violent because you out here didn't give that man enough attention. Didn't always put technology in front of his face. No, and didn't really go out and spend time with your son. So don't get mad when you forcefully fed and neglected your child to where he found comfort in video games to where now he gets mad if you touch it. You know what I'm saying? That's you. That's as a parent, you failed your child. You gotta be. You know what I'm saying? I used to. I played video games as a young kid. You feel me? You know, I went to a school. They gave us out. They gave us PS1s. They let us. They loaned out PS1s. But each time, them PS1s had educational games like Raymond. Back when Raymond was out here, PS1. Hey yo, Sony, so sponsor me, man, cause I'm about to brag on y'all real quick. But when Sony dropped that PS1 and when they was out here making video games and making it educated, they were out here get bro. My school loaned it, bro. Raymond, they had the math, they had spelling. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how I learned how to spell. To be honest with, no, I'm just playing. That's probably why I'm not. But like, I couldn't even make that joke because I didn't want people to take me serious. But what I'm saying is there are some educational games. There are some games that really teach you life lessons no matter what game it is, no matter how violent. There's as a game connoisseur and as a person who plays games, these games teach you life lessons. And if you missed out on those life lessons in those video games, you need to go back and replay them. You need to go back and rewatch them because Fortnite taught you how to communicate and work as a team and build. You know, you just can't hop on Fortnite and just gun blazing. I mean, I do, but like you not me. You feel me? Like you have to communicate with your team. There's certain games that force communication. There's a game called The Hunt. There's a game called The Hunt. You know that game is 100% community teamwork. That's building, that's teamwork building. That's communication building. Because if you don't work as a team, another team gonna pull up and clap you. You know what I'm saying? So there are games that's out there that's quote unquote violent, but at the same time they teach you with some type of educational. They have an educational plot twist, or they have some life lesson in there. They have some type of method, to teach you something about life. You know what I'm saying? If you watch any interviews with video game developers, they say, well, I want this game to be more than just a game. I want them to learn this. I want to add this in there because of this. You know what I'm saying? You can't just make the statement that video games make people violent when you constantly have songs talking about shooting hoes, beating hoes. Hoes ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. You know what I'm saying? You gotta evaluate the works of art. You have books that vividly and explicitly describe a murder scene, like as the blood leaked into the carpet. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of detailed. You know what I'm saying? He pressed the gun to Tensei's temple, then pulled the trigger as brain matter splattered in through the air, or flew through the air, and his lifeless body dropped and hit the floor. His blood, his blood painting the snow red. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of vivid. You feel me? But I bet you half of y'all pictured it. You know what I'm saying? In music, you pop out that the whip, sprayed at the op, shot one in the hip. You feel me? I ain't really quoting like real rap songs or any books per se. I'm just giving like y'all some examples of what they be saying. I'm not saying all rap songs are like this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all books are like this. But I'm just pulling out examples out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like there's certain music and there are certain things that are examples or they mirror real life experiences. You know, it's that's life. And Shorty was saying how why do they want, or what she was saying, something about video games not, or something about why are they making it entertaining and why is it relatable. And to simply answer that question, here is why. Because you want to do something that's relatable. And to some people that's trauma. It's traumatizing. Like if you are a little kid and you see a body die, you see someone get shot right in front of you, and then you go play video games where people are shooting you or you killing other people. Um, she didn't she was like, I don't see why anyone would want to play that. But if I'm gonna be real with you, it's a form of release. It's a way to de-stress. It's a way to blow off steam. Now, I ain't saying that it's like that for everybody. But to most people, that's how they de-stress. That's how some dudes de-stress. They come home, long day of work, and they play video games. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like your child got some type of mental health issue when it comes to video games, well, give your child that help. Don't wait until something happens that where he dangers himself and everybody else in order for it to feel like that. I'm saying you guys as parents have to be careful what y'all allowing y'all children to get into, whether that's books, whether that's music, TV shows, movies. You know what I'm saying? Video games, apps. Y'all gotta be careful because y'all can't always blame our developer for everything, unless it's just wrong as day. You feel me? Unless it's just wrong, you really can't. Blame the developers for much. Nah, you definitely can blame the developer for some things, but typically with certain games, it does involve a heavy amount of research when they're putting into it, and a lot of time and money. So you guys, if you one of those people that feel like, video games make people violent, let me know. Hey, comment, share with your friends, share with your mama, share with your grandpappy, your granddaddy, all of them. Because I argue this I argue this, no problem. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they have to be, at the same time, you guys have to like they, you have to be conscious of what you letting your child engage in. You have to be conscious of some of the things that you're bringing into that crib that you allowing your child to expose himself to. GTA 5, a lot of little kids was liking that game, and a lot of mamas got mad. But what can you be mad about? What can you brought the game? They clearly hit a requirement on them. If you want to talk about video games making children bad or violent, you also have to talk about sports. Soft baseball, softball, you throw a ball at people and you hit them. I'm not saying that's what the goal is, but the goal is sometimes to win by any means. Football is to break the other person, murder that person. Not really murder like cold blood murder, but I mean like murder as in murder. Like, what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, but like, to like, oh, I don't really know, like slang, like to win by any means. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Basketball. You be pushing and hitting people in the elbow. You may get a foul for it. Soccer, you be kicking people. Sometimes you don't really kick them; they just fall and feel like you kicked them. So I feel like if you want to act in career, go to soccer. You can be good, but at the same time, you gotta know how to act when, like, ooh, he kicked me in my shin. No, he didn't. But it gotta look like that. You gotta act like that. Tennis. You ever lost a game of tennis? Yeah, you'll be mad too. You running out there, you know. So like you guys have like if you want to say video games violent, you have to take into account of everything that makes people violent. Whether that's video game, well, you got to take account of everything. So I'm done with that matter. I'm done with that matter. Let's talk about something else. All right, so hold on, y'all. I just had something real ingenious to say, but then I forgot about it when I exhaled. Hold on. Let me try to get that thought back. Okay, I got a question. I got a question. I got a question, Eve. I got a question for you. When You know what? I'm not gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna make it a general question. If you feel comfortable answering it, then you can answer it. When do you feel like let me think of the wording because I want to sound intelligent when I ask this. Okay, so you know how okay, so there's times where people hate asking people for things. Um, People hate asking people for help, and stuff like that because they don't want to feel like a burden, right? So how bad does the situation have to be for you to ask for help? Anybody can answer that. Anybody can answer that. But that's the question I want to ask. How bad does things have to get before you ask for help? And when you ask for help, what goes through your head? All right, not too bad, but bad enough for me to feel like I can't do it. I mean, that's fair. Um, for me personally, I mean, while you guys type up or while you type up your response, Eve, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say um, for me, I don't like asking for help. I don't like asking for help. I hate it because I don't want. Hey, Eve, you might wanna retype that because that's not making sense. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that was a part two to that. Didn't see that coming. All right. Um, for me, I don't. Yeah, see, that's my thing. I don't want to feel. For one, I don't want to feel like I'm a burden. But with enough hard work and dedication, I'll do it eventually. But with me, it's more of I don't want it to come back and bite me in the butt later. Let's put it that way. I don't want I don't want I don't want it. Yeah, for the most part, I don't want it to seem like I'm a burden. For the second thing, I don't want you to be like, whoa, oh, when you asked me for help, I helped you. Now come help me. I don't want you to throw it back up in my face. That's my thing. There's people who out there who will help you and then be like, hey, bruh, like I need you to do this for me. Nah, bruh, I'm not doing that, bro. I helped you, but bro, you did that out of the kindness of your heart, right? Like, did that come with strings attached? Because if it did, I never ask you for nothing again. You know what I'm saying? It's right. It's the worst thing ever because then you be like, okay, well, it's like, ah, man, like you only help me in order to help yourself in the future. That's right, invisible strings, and I don't like that. Like if you're gonna help me, you best help me out of the kindness of your heart. Or because if you don't, we gonna throw some hands. Not really, but that's the mentality it has. That's a mentality. That's like the invisible law. You know what I'm saying? You should never go into like if someone asks you for a favor and you don't want to do it, or you feel like there's going to be some string attached, or you're going to throw it back up in their face. You might as well not even do it. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. Don't bother. Don't waste the time. Don't don't do nothing. Right? Take advantage. Yeah, exactly. They would do that. Like especially when it's something you don't want to do. Bro, I helped you. I helped you. And like, bruh, but that's different, bruh. That's different. You know what I'm saying? And then they force you to help them because they want to throw it back up in your face. And I refuse. I refuse to be put in that situation. You feel me? It's either look, you want to help me or not. I don't need your help. I ain't got no problem struggling. You feel me? Life is hard, so every day's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, it ain't no problem. I ask for your help. I don't need like. Here's my thing. Sometimes I hope you build a show. Help me out this body. Yeah, yeah, something stupid like that. You absolutely right, Ed. But okay, but look. Let me say this. Let me say this. If I ask for help, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. I want your help. It's a big difference. I can need you but not want you. I mean, I can need you but not want you. And I can want you but not need you. You feel me? So like if I say, hey, like, can you help me with this? I don't need your help. Shawty, I don't need you by any means. Don't get it twisted. I don't need your help at all. But at the same time, if it can make my life easier by having another hand, hey, you mind helping? And then it ain't no problem. I mean, if you want to say, yeah, but can you help me with this in return? Okay, let me think about that. Let me think about how much work I'm gonna have to do with my favor. If you wanna do favor for a favor, okay, cool. I know there's a string attached to that. But don't hit me with no favor and then 3 years later or 3 days later, bye, bro. Oh, bro, like I need your help with something, alright, bro. Okay, like here's my thing. Don't make an invisible favor. If you're gonna do something for somebody, be like, hey, listen, I don't want to do this, so if I do this for you, you're gonna have to owe me one. Alright, bro, cool, 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 cool. Alright, bet. Say less. But that's my thing. That's my thing on that. You know what I'm saying? You don't, cause that makes me so mad when people be doing that. Whew, man, y'all just don't understand how mad I be getting. I ain't got anger issues, but something just really hit your buttons like super quick, and you just be like, "Well, if it wasn't, if it wasn't, if it wasn't for, if it wasn't a crime, I'd fight you." You know what I'm saying? Type mentality. It's really not a crime. Well, it really is a crime, but it's not a crime. But it is a crime, but it's not a crime. But it is a crime, but it's not. But it is. So I'm gonna end it in a little bit, but I want to say this. I want to talk about this because I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it, and I really debated on doing like a surprise podcast episode in the middle of the week because I've been seeing that. You know what grinds my gears? Yes, I love that little segment. But I want to talk about this because people have been talking about it a lot. People have been talking about it a lot, and it's been irritating me, and I've been feeling some type of way about it. And people like to quote this and say this and this and this. All right, let's talk about that Kenosha shooting, Kyle Rittenhouse. And I know a lot of people, y'all want to get away from that, and y'all want to take a break from reality. But I kind of want to do this last little segment, and I'm probably gonna say a few jokes, to lighten the mood. The thing that makes me mad about the whole situation is people be like, well, he was being attacked and chased by a crowd, so he shot them to defend himself. And then, you know, on the other hand, people are saying, well, if they weren't out there protesting and this and this and this, you know, that situation wouldn't have happened. The situation would have still happened. The situations would have still happened. Because why would you need to go across state lines with an assault with a rifle, an AR-15, if you didn't have intentions on using it? I'm saying it's not like it was his store. So you just went down there because you did this. Nah, bruh, ain't no way. You feel me? I ain't hit those notes like I wanted to, but ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way. You feel me? You have to go across state lines. Cause look, that's like this. All right, look. Okay, look. If you go somewhere knowing something gonna pop off. Okay, let's say this. Hmm. All right, let's say this. If you if okay, let's say this. You going to some place where you know there's a lot of hostility. You know there's a lot of people doing some things that you know something about to pop. You know if you go there something gonna pop off. So you like yeah, let me. All right, no. Okay, listen. That's not a good example. That's not a good example. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. For dudes, I'm gonna put it in a way y'all understand. All right. It's like you about to go hang out with a girl. But before you go hang out with that girl, you grab some condoms and put it in your pocket because you know there's a possibility that you might need it, or there's a possibility you might use it. That's the same thing Home Dude did. He saw what was going on in Kenosha, and he said, "You know what, guys? Let me bring some guns. I might not need it, but I might just, I might just feel like busting on somebody. You feel me? No pun intended with the condom joke." But you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. But for women, it's like this. I'm not a female, so don't quote me on this. But this is how I picture it. Okay? This is how my brain pictured it for women. It's like you hitting up a dude saying, "You up?" And he's like, "Hey, can I come over to your house to talk?" And you know you really ain't about to talk, but you put on them really good panties, like them thongs or something like something, and then you have like little tight like pants or something tight, booty shorts with an oversized hoodie on, and you go over there. Not saying what you wear is dictates anything sexual is gonna happen. Disclaimer, disclaimer. I'm not saying nothing of that crazy foolishness. Not saying that just because you dress a certain way, you're asking to get some. What I'm saying is, there's sometimes when you dress a certain way, you dress to prepare for the occasion. It's like if you go on a track, you're not gonna go to a track with jeans on. You're not gonna go with jeans on and high heels and then run at a track. You're gonna prepare for the situation. All right, Ab, you have a good one. You're gonna prepare for the situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So the dude prepared for the situation that he knew there was a strong possibility. I feel like I was read. Read? Huh? But anyway, explain that, Ed. But I'm gonna continue on what I was saying. So he went there with the intentions of something bad gonna happen. Like he wasn't needed there, so why would he go there across state lines with something like that as a minor? You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was trying to do. And everybody's saying, "Well, that's not racist. That's not racist." Okay, look, let me put some in perspective for you guys. And the Hodgins twins can say something about this if they like, because I would definitely like to go in a battle with them. But now let me stop. I ain't trying to have no beef with nobody else who's doing a podcast or talking how they feel and nothing like that. I just like want to understand where the Hodges twins were coming from. But um, what I was saying was what makes the situation so aggravating is if that person was a skin tone darker, them officers would have stopped. They would have arrested that man and they would have handled the situation. Whether you want to say, no, that wasn't the case, Wisconsin is an open carry, it doesn't matter. If you're black, you get stopped. It's not saying that, all officers do that, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know, It happened. If that kid was black, he would have got stopped. That Kyle Rittenhouse was able to go home and sleep in his bed and turn himself in when he felt like it. Black people don't get that leisure. I'm not sitting here trying to defend criminals or anything like that. I'm just saying when you're black, you have a harsher sentence. Whether you guys, whites or other, you know, as I don't really like calling out liberals or conservatives, as that's pretty stupid to me. Whether you're one of those people who don't think that, you have to be conscious. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. I didn't sneeze, it was a fake one. It was just a feeling. But what I was saying is, whether you're one of those people who are negligent or other that, you gotta look at the facts. Look at the facts. Look at racism in the media or prejudice in the media. Look at how they demonize or animalize African American males and African American people, but they sit there and humanitarianize white people. Look at how they demonize people of color, but they humanitarianize white people. You know what I'm saying? How come and people can say, well, a white man got gunned down by the police, but Black Lives Matter ain't ain't saying nothing. Okay, bro, why aren't you saying nothing? You saying all lives matter? Like now you look like a whole clown. All lives matter, but you not protesting a life that was killed by the police officer, and it was unjustified or it was overkill. But that's what gets me. It's like people will say something just to take away from the Black Lives Matter, and I don't want to talk about them because I feel like I'm always talking about them. But at the same time, if you have to look at certain things from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? And for women who don't really understand, you know, what I'm saying, or for people for women, I want to explain it in a way where you guys can relate, and for dudes, I'm gonna try to do it that way. For women, when you're, it's kind of like the the barriers or that women experience. It's like there's injustice. There's injustice and discrimination with women in job fields with pay and all this. However, your male counterparts don't believe it. They believe like you're 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 crazy. They believe like you're overreacting or you're out of bounds when you say certain things. You know what I'm saying? And then you get aggravated and then you want to do a movement and then they come out saying, "Oh, well all sexes or genders matter." And then now that takes away from what you were saying because it feels like no matter how much you as a woman want to say, "Hey, pay us equally," they want to say, "Well, we are already. Why are you complaining?" That's not the employer's job. You should work harder. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how hard you work as a female, you're still not gonna get paid to your male counterparts. And that's what it is. It's like like with your sex, that being um you're being discriminated against systematically. And you want to change that, but you can't because everybody else is throwing these movements and constantly bashing what you're trying to accomplish in the media to where you feel like it's not going to work. So the only thing you have is anger, built up anger and aggression. You know what I'm saying? That's how it feels when people be like all these all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, the all lives matter and blue lives matter. Now that's a whole different conversation. And when I want to talk back about that and get back into that mindset to talk about that, I will. But that's how it is, if that makes sense. Cause I was trying to do something, but then my brain went a whole another route, and I was trying to pull my brain back onto this topic. Um, but I feel like next podcast I'm going to talk about video games. I want to talk about video games and what makes a video game great. What is same thing with movies. What makes entertainment great? what makes TV shows great. Um, but I said I was gonna do a joke. Said I was gonna do a joke. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story, and hopefully y'all catch the joke because this is an amazing joke. All right. Okay. So my mom hit a mop bucket. My mom hit a mop bucket, and she was like, well, it's not really a joke. It's more of a story with a funny punchline that I thought was pretty funny, and it kind of cracked me up. But hopefully it'll crack y'all up too and tick y'all little souls. All right. So my mom, she had a mop bucket, and she was like, Ray Vaughn, go get my mop, or Vaughn, go get my mop, or something like that. I was like, Mom, where's the bucket? And she was like, well, it's right there. So I went and took the mop out, and I was like, Hey, Mom, you might want to get a new mop. She looked at me and I said, this one look like it's been through the ringer. Uh, Please tell me y'all got that joke. Please tell me I got that joke. You got it. Okay. That is way funnier. Oh, it's way funnier than I thought it was. I thought it was pretty funny. If you don't think it's funny, you need to have a sense of humor because that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Hold on, y'all. Um, Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I got a phone call to make. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna tell y'all another. I'm gonna tell y'all another one. Hold on. All right. So I got it on hold. I got the phone call on hold. But look, I'm gonna say another one. I'm gonna say another one. I'm gonna say another one for you guys. Hold on real quick. So so for those of you, there's if you go to Menards, they have these big toolboxes, and on the toolbox it says knack. So I was like, hey pops, I got a knack for mechanics. And then he looked at me and I was like, knick knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. But anyway, that was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny. Man, I crack myself up with these puns, man. Oh man, if you guys would have followed me on Snapchat back when I used to do that during in Walmart, that was too fun. Uh, but anyway, now that I like the mood, you guys can have a great rest of your night. Um, Next week, oh wait, be sure to follow me on my Instagram at chaotic underscore entertainment. Hey Eve, can you please post the YouTube channel and the Instagram to the in the comments? If not, I'll probably try to do it. Quick update. There is going to be a name change to the Twitch. As you guys can see, it's no longer going to be called Chaotic Entertainment. It's going to be called the Chaotic Project. I'm going to change it to this actual name of the podcast. So be on the lookout for that. That's definitely going to happen. So if you guys are looking for me, and I'm like, Rayvon, I got a new notification of a random new name for the podcast. Let me know. That's because the name is going to be changed to the Chaotic Project. It's actually going to be titled after uh the the podcast topic or title or the name. That way, the social media and all that is going to be under the Chaotic Entertainment, and that's both going to have both the podcast and the gaming. So if you guys got anything y'all want me to talk about on the next podcast, comment right now, and I will try to get it done. I'm going to keep the stream open. Okay, yes, the Eb has put in the link tree for you guys to follow my all my links. It's gonna have everything on there from the social media, from the Twitch, the Discord channel. If you guys want to be on the Discord, yo, hop in the Discord channel and comment that you want to be on the Discord channel. Thank you, Eve, so much for your help with posting the links and constantly being my IT slash mod slash social media marketing partner, everything like that. I appreciate you. Oh, the Twitter is also on there. That's gonna be my actual Twitter. Follow me for no humor at all. Not playing. I got a little bit of humor, so follow me for that. That's gonna give you all the latest updates on the podcast, as well as the gaming, as well as life in general. You know, sometimes I do drop gems on the Twitter. You feel me? I do be tweeting. You feel me? What else? I think that's all about the updates. But yes, if you guys ever want to hop in on a podcast and talk about something, talk about your feelings, talk about your opinions on something, let me know. I would definitely love to have you on as a guest in the podcast, and love to have some interviews on there. But until then, yo, y'all have a great night. Peace out, and please wear your mask because this is getting annoying. Hey, you have a good one and stay healthy too, Eve. Doses.